Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Tejas. I was getting some replies about profile building and all, so they were become repeated. So that's why I made this video. This video is about making your profile better, or if you are just starting to build your profile, you can find your answers in it. So I hope you stick to the end and watch the entire video. So let's get started. So first component towards building a strong profile is academics. So basically, personally, I think there are two parts for the academics. First is CGPA. So for MS in US, some universities are CGPA specific, like the University of Southern California. Whereas for Canada, most of them look for CGPA, for good CGPA. So if you're in your first, second year, there's a lots of time to improve your CGPA. At least be consistent on your CGPA, because if your CGPA goes down, they can see like the graph going down, so it will be bad. Now if you're a third year student, so mostly you will have 3 sems left to apply. So if you have a good CGPA, try to maintain it. Again, there's the same logic behind it. So third year can be tough, but try your best to maintain your good CGPA. Now if you're in a fourth year, you might just have 1 sem, so that won't make any difference. If you even get 10 CGPA, it will just increase by like 1 point or so maximum. So I'll suggest that you cannot do anything about your CGPA when you're in fourth year, so just focus on your rest of your profile. So now the second part is courses in your undergrad. So now if you're shifting your course, like master's course from your undergrad course, this is a very important part. For example, I shifted my electronics and communication background to computer science masters. So that's why most of the universities have the requirements like you should have completed subjects like data structures and algorithms, or object-oriented programming, or programming languages, etc. So check out the requirements on the university pages and make sure you have them. If you don't have them, try to do it on online MOOC certificates like Coursera, Udacity, or edX, or etc. There are lots of courses, but they should be universally known. So make sure you have these courses before you apply. So that's why you at least satisfy the minimum requirement. So second factor would be research experience or research work. So either you can publish a paper or show that you have worked on a research project. So this can improve, or this can skyrocket your chances for getting a good admit. So hence, for publishing a research paper, I have made a separate video about it. You can check it out. So if you are doing a research project, it's okay if you're doing it alone or like individually. So if it's with a professor, it would have a better impact and it will increase your chances. So now even you can write a blog or start a blog of your own where you write your technical findings, etc. It can be anything related to your work or any other tutorial or anything. So but it should be technical and related to your field. You can start it on medium.com. I have personally started my own blog a year back. You can check it out on my channel page. So also in the blog on medium.com, once you write your article, you might get some offers from TDS, which is Towards Data Science, or HackerNoon, or any other publications like Analytics Vidya. These are particularly for CS. You can find your own niche or publication for your niche. I'll just link the publications below so that you can find it easier. So the third factor towards building your strong profile would be work experience. So this can prove that you are not just theoretical person, but also can apply your knowledge. If you haven't graduated before applying, mention your internships. They also count towards work experience. But I'm not saying if you have done work internships for like 2 or 3 months, that's it, because that's only like you're ticking the box. Please don't do that. So the reason why I'm saying this is because if you're, let's say, doing a 2 months internship, so when you join as a fresher, the company or the internship, the industry would not assign you a big picture idea or big picture task. So that's why you will be working as a trainee, so at least for a month, so that the company can assert your technical skills, your knowledge, etc. So that's why 1 month would be like just a training type of thing. So the main internship you did was only 1 month. So that's why I would recommend at least have a 10 months internship experience. But now, not just in any field, but the internship or the work you're doing in your internship should be related to your master's application or master's course. So let's say if you're applying to artificial intelligence, I think your internship should be related to AI. If you have done your internship in data analytics or something, it would not be related to AI. So that's why I would suggest stick to your field and plan accordingly. Okay, so fourth important factor towards building your profile is SOP and LOR. So I think these are the most important factors. These documents are the only unique documents to you, because CGPA and work experience or etc., they like everyone has it, but the SOP and LOR are about you, so they are pretty unique, so don't mess it up. So for SOP, I'll be posting a separate video. I don't want to make this video longer, so that's why I'll make separate video. So for LOR, I have made the separate video, like it's same as the publishing research paper video, so you can check it out. So the fifth factor in contributing towards a great profile would be projects or extracurriculars. So projects also show your technical soundness and also show your practical knowledge. So try to do as much as relevant projects in your undergrad or before applying, as projects would be done by you individually or maybe in group. So it shows self-motivation and eagerness to apply your knowledge. So basically that's a pretty good thing for you when you apply for your masters. So another thing you can do is participate in hackathons. So they have live projects or live issues, live problems, which can contribute to the society. So that would also increase your chances to have a good profile, have a great profile. So I'll just link in the description about some hackathons and all, so you can check them out. So the sixth component for getting a good profile is GRE or TOEFL. So for MSN US, like there are universities specific to CGPA, there are also universities centered to GRE. So you might need to improve your GRE score if you're planning for these universities. So you can find this information on Yocket or by talking to a senior, or just by checking the requirements. So now let's say like many applicants change their domain to computer science, so that makes the program very competitive. So often the university has a requirement of quant score, because CS is a STEM course. So that's why try to get your quant score above 165 and your overall score above 320 around. So now if you got 315, 315 overall score, but your quant is 164, I'll suggest give it again if you have time. There's no harm, because it's okay to spend like 11,000-12,000, but you have worked so hard on your rest of your profile, you just don't want to take any chances, right? So give it again, it doesn't matter. So now for Canada, some universities don't look for GRE. For example, University of British Columbia, they don't want to see your GRE scores for MSN CS program. So you can just shortlist some universities where GRE is not required if you haven't, or if you don't want to give your GRE. But if you have given your GRE, it's okay to mention if the university is saying that GRE is optional. If the if they have mentioned it is optional, you must give your GRE scores if you have given it. So it will not do any harm to your profile. So now coming to TOEFL for US, there's a minimum requirement you have to satisfy. Also, there's another requirement if you want to apply for teaching assistantships. So the requirement is for speaking and reading mostly, and in general the speaking should be around 26 for TOEFL. I haven't personally checked out for IELTS because I gave TOEFL. So for Canada, there's also a minimum requirement. If you got 120 in your TOEFL, it doesn't matter if the minimum requirement is 100. It will not boost your profile. It will just mean that you have cleared your minimum requirement. That's it. So you just need 100 if the minimum requirement is 100. So last factor is community volunteering. So if you have time before you apply, or if you're building your profile and if you have some time in between, you can take out 1 or 2 hours and volunteer in an NGO. So I personally volunteered in an underprivileged school for underprivileged children. I got to teach them and help them in miscellaneous stuff, etc. It was a pretty good experience for me. This might help you in your profile because university might look for students who are also active in their communities. So it's your personal choice. I hope this video was informative and helped you in any way. So give a like, give a thumbs up. If you want any other specific video, mention in the comment section, and I will soon upload the SOP video. So stick around to the channel, and thank you so much. Bye bye.